Carol! Carol! Carol, are you there?
Love from you-know-who, Tom, darling.
Oh, God, if she finds her...
Hello?
Melinda?
Tom!
You stupid little idiot. Do you know what you've done to me?
You made the choice, remember? Either me or $5,000. And I think that's cheap after what I've given you.
Carol's seen the photos.
I wanted her to. How'd she take it?
You little bitch. She's not here. Look, you don't know her. If she gets her hands on you, she's liable to do anything.
You don't frighten me off that easily. You're the one that ought to be worried.
I'm coming over. Keep your doors locked and don't let anyone else in.
These are the last of them. The cold got at most of them. But we thought you might like to have them.
Well, thanks, Edith. And I don't put you staying outside too much. You still got that cough, you know.
Oh, I'm used to the fresh air.
You taking the medicine I gave you?
Every 4 hours. Lizzie, don't you think we might help Dr. Miller with a few chores?
Oh, yes, of course. I was just thinking, this looked as though it could do with a good wipe over.
If I find one drop of those spirits missing, Lizzie.
Spirits? Oh, I didn't even see them.
Don't you worry, Doc. I'll keep an eye on her. Now, what do you want us to do? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's my fingers. They get stiff after a little.
Isn't there anything else you ladies should be doing?
I'm sure there's something we can do. I know we could make ourselves useful.
Lizzie, God, Mrs. Jackson, you could do a person in creeping up like that.
What are you two doing in here?
Oh, we're just helping the doc do a bit of tidying up.
We thought we could brighten up the office a little.
I'm sure there are other things you can find to occupy yourselves.
I do have things pretty much under control, Edith, thank you.
You ought to kick that habit of yours, dear.
I thought you were distracting the doc.
Elizabeth.
Here are those antibiotics you ordered. They were at reception.
Oh, thanks, mate. I was on my way down when I got bombarded by the helpful committee. Tell you, I'll be glad when Liz is well enough to go back to work in the laundry.
They really are a bit like arsenic and old lace, aren't they?
Well, Lizzie is the arsenic, you mean?
Well, something like that.
There's characters like that I'm going to miss.
Then you really are thinking of going into private practice? Give up your work here?
Well, it's been at the back of my mind ever since we had that talk about us both working in the same place. Just that I thought it was time to give it serious thought, that's all.
Well, I think it's a good idea.
Bit early for spring cleaning, isn't it, Edith?
By the look of these shelves, springs have been missed out quite a lot.
Bit of dirt never hurt anyone, Ede.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
God didn't like dirt. He should have made the world out of plastic. You reckon you're going to get any good out of that?
The more you can understand people, the more you can help them.
Like Clements.
It'll be years before I'm as good as he is.
You ought to have your head read. He's a mongrel, trying to get into people's minds to find out how they tick. He's the one that sent poor Dora around the bend.
He did not, Lizzie.
If you want to get to know people, you've got to go out and live with them and listen to what they have to say.
Would you let me get some study done, please?
Young people don't want to listen. They're always too busy getting places.
Hey, Lizzie, want to make a fourth?
Will you be all right finishing this on your own?
Good idea, love. Edie, love, if you're looking for something to do, you can always wallpaper my room. Okay, here we go, and Jack's a high. Well, will you look who's here, the jolly grey giant.
You don't have to do that, Edith. These women let it get like that. They should be the ones to clean it up.
I don't mind, Mr. Fletcher. I like doing it.
No, it's too much for you. Smith, Ferguson, and you've been shirking all day. Get into it.
Work's finished, Fletch. This is our time off.
No cards until it's done.
Oh, there you go.
Please, Mr. Fletcher.
You've got 1 minute to get stuck into it.
I know what I'd like to get stuck into.
Don't threaten me, Smith.
I like doing it.
You go to your room, Edith.
Door's open.
I thought I told you to keep this thing locked.
And I told you I don't scare easily, darling.
I'm telling you the truth, damn it. Look, I got home, the photographs are in shreds, and Carol isn't there.
Maybe she's left you.
Without taking her things? No. Look, I know my wife. She'll try to get even, and there's no telling what she might do.
Well, if she's such a nut, why don't you leave her? Tom, we could start again. Well, I was just a bit angry because I thought you were going to leave me. I'll give you the negatives if you come back to me.
I ought to break your neck showing that filth to my wife.
Filth? You were enjoying that filth when we were doing it, darling.
You little slut. You're just a pastime. You meant nothing to me.
Where are you going?
I'm going to find my wife and try to explain.
Don't leave me, Tom.
When are you going to get it through your head? We're finished. Look, I don't want my wife doing anything stupid, so lock this damn door.
But you're only trying to scare me. Well, it won't work.
Yeah, Karen, you're the expert. What do you make of a guy that gets his kicks out of walking over defenceless women?
Probably hates women because he feels inferior.
Which he is.
The only way he can boost his ego is to put them down.
I think you've been wasting your time with that university, Travis. Or is that the sort of rubbish that Clements puts into your head?
What's the matter, no sense of humour? Or maybe I'm a little too close to the truth.
You can forget about university lectures tomorrow, Travis.
Eh?
Maybe a day inside will make you realise that you're still a prisoner.
Come off it, Fletch.
You can't do that.
I've already done it.
Well, that does it. OK, girls, gather round. We're going to have to put a stop to him. Got any suggestions?
Maybe we could set him up like we did Vera.
Ah, no, the governor would never buy that. I could yell rape.
Wait a minute, there is a way. Peter Clements went through his army file. He's suffering from hemophobia.
God, does it catch him?
No, of course not, Lizzie. It just means he's afraid of the sight of blood.
Blood.
I think we've got him.
Did you find a place for Edith Wharton to live?
I wasn't aware that I had to advise you if I did. But yes, I did find something.
Well, is it suitable?
It's the best I could do.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that it's all she can afford and the only one I could find.
Do you mind?
It's a small boarding house. She'll have her own bedroom, but you'll have to share the kitchen and bathroom.
Whereabouts?
Well, it's not one of your nicer areas, but at least there are people there of her own age group.
Couldn't you do better than that?
If you are not satisfied, then I suggest you try to do better. But I think we should let Edith decide whether she's going to like it or not, don't you?
You're taking quite an interest in Edith Wharton.
No, she's an old lady.
She's still a prisoner.
Come on, Miss Bennett, surely you're not even that hard. I mean, she was given 7 days in here because some stupid woman threw her out of the home and she had nowhere to go.
I thought she was in here for assault.
Out of desperation.
We're not in this job to justify anyone's actions, Mr. Fletcher.
What is it with you, Miss Bennett? Are you still out to get me because I took your job, or does it go deeper than that? Well, maybe you don't even understand the meaning of the word compassion.
There's a reason why we treat all the inmates equally. Show one any compassion, and you'll only cause trouble amongst the others. But, of course, you don't mind using policy for your own advantage, do you?
Oh, so that's it. You're still bitter because I bent the rules to help the police.
Is that why you did it? I thought it was just the reward money. Good night, Mr. Fletcher.
Hello? Who?
Carol Burton? Surely you haven't forgotten. You did send me those photographs.
How did you get my number?
Through the university. If you intend going into the business of blackmail, you really ought to be more careful. You're so easy to trace.
What do you want?
Dear girl, isn't it the other way round? I mean, you wanted $5,000 for the negatives. I've got it. I can't have my husband losing his good name over some one-night stand now, can I?
I want Tom to give it to me.
Sorry, dear. I don't want you seeing him again. You want the money? I'll give it to you.
All right. I'll meet you in 20 minutes in Kings Park. How will I know you?
Don't worry. I'm sure I'll be able to recognize you, even with your clothes on. But I've got a few things to do first. Make it in 2 hours' time, will you?
Bitch!
How's this phobia thing work? How does he react when he sees blood?